You've been aboard Moya longer than anyone else except Pilot.
Your point being?
You know her sounds and her rhythms. Just stop and listen to her for a moment.
All right. Moya sounds fine.
Does she? Not to me. Something feels out of balance.
The people who built her, the builders, were able to instill in her race the ability to reproduce.
What's great is the shapes they're all very organic shapes, and then the detailing and the textures are not organic. Ricky Ayers did all the production design and sort of captured that.
If you look all the way from what Moya's transport pod is right the way through to the tables in the maintenance bay or the galley stuff, I think you'll see that there's a geometry, a structure that's actually follows through, whether it be 1,000 feet long or 3 feet long.
It's not like you're walking through the intestine of a being, but it definitely has a definite organic feel to it.
Moya, I will take your pain.
Moya can only communicate directly with the crew through Pilot.
Pilot is a different race completely, but he is now grown into the ship. They're inseparable.
A ship in the transport hangar.
His personality is not particularly great for his job. He's a little quick to panic. He's overworked and harassed, and yet they're stuck with him because he's the one that's grown into the ship.
Pilot actually lives. Pilot is the most exciting character in that it's the most remarkable puppet, and that you can stand there and look at Pilot and talk to Pilot. He just comes alive.
The puppet is made up of a complex animatronic head, which is remote controlled.
Weapons fire on board. Weapons fire. What? Moya's neural links are being badly affected by the heat. Weapons fire on board.
A puppeteer controls each of his 4 arms, while a performer sits inside to twist and rotate the body.
He's the character that is the most angst-ridden. He's the great worrier of this piece, a bit like the producer of the show.
Weapons fire on board.
Weapons fire.
What?
Moya's neural links are being badly affected by the heat, but I believe it came from the maintenance bay. I'm picking up 5 unidentified life forms and a ship in the transport hangar. The Marauder.
Dargo is a wonderful character to play because he's gruff, but he's like an adolescent warrior. He wants to be the strongest, best tactician fighter in the whole galaxy, but actually his inexperience shows through quite a lot of the time. So it makes him quite three-dimensional. He's not just the blasting warrior. He's not just the incompetent person. He's a person who's 18, 19, if he was an Earthling, just learning what his competencies are, and he's not quite there yet.
No, I'm giving the orders now.
Dargo, just listen. He's not good at listening, is he?
He can't stand the fact that Zan is always trying to pacify him, because in his mind, to be superior is to be aggressive.
Let go of me.
Dargo!
The ship needs a leader, and none of you have what it takes. From now on, I am in charge. Never lay your hands on me again.
I went to London and they did a live cast, and from that we worked out how we could fit all this onto my body.
Oh my God.
His body is already covered in slow-drying plaster of Paris. Now another substance, dental alginate, is applied to the face. This is normally used for making dental casts and is extremely quick drying.
Got a big smile on his face now.
The constant chatter from the boys in the mold shop helps to keep the patient calm while in his plaster prison.
Last stage, 5 more minutes. Well, the head comes off 5 more minutes. I said 2 minutes ago. It's a James Bond minute.
Well, it's good cut, bad cut.
He knows all the comedy lines.
When it does come off, though, the mask, it will be very bright. Okay, it'll be like, almost like flash bulbs going off, so your eyes are getting used to the dark. So just be aware of that.
Using a photographic analogy, this cast is a negative from which any number of positives can be made. Anthony's body can then be cast whole in fiberglass. After initial conceptual designs and prototype sculpts such as these, the final Dargo sculpt is arrived at.
It takes a couple of hours to put on, different chin pieces and face pieces, and also there's a bodysuit that goes down to here because otherwise we'd have a very human neck. I've got a balaclava that fits over my head, then a helmet that sits on top of that, and then this piece here, which is a separate piece from this piece, where's the join, sits on top of that helmet there.
I don't think it would. That would actually tuck. That would actually go on.
I'm actually a 6'6" dorky guy with long blonde hair. Even though there's all these things on top of me, I'm still very much in control of eyebrow movement. You still get all the same facial subtleties that you get out of a normal human face.
No matter what the others say, I see you and me together.
Dargo, tell me. Let me help you. Who is Lolan?
As soon as you get a locked-off mask, which you do get in lots of prosthetic work, then you really lose a sense of that character being real if you don't get all the subtleties of emotion and mood and psychological change that the face portrays.
Unlike Dargo, Zahn only requires a small amount of prosthetic work on her ears. This doesn't mean Virginia Hay spends any less time in preparation. Her face and body paint can take up to 3 hours to apply each morning.
She's a very highly evolved spiritual being, and as a result she tackles conflict in a different way to most mere mortals, if you like. She doesn't agree that violence is the solution. She'll always try and tackle something via the most peaceful method, you know, talking it through, trying to reason with people.
Oh, here you go.
Quite respectable for your age. Did you think you'd shock me? Is nudity a taboo in your culture? Are you ashamed of your bodies?
Yeah, we would be if we looked like you.
I doubt it. She's like a central point that she pacifies everyone and ties everybody together, if you like.
I think she's got a great handle on Dargo, and she really knows how to put him in his place and when. Because often when he's off blustering, trying to take over, she's actually the one who can come along and go, look, settle down, Dargo, there's actually another way to go here.
How old are you?
30 cycles.
Oh, you are but a boy.
I am not. I am a Luxon warrior. I have seen 2 battle campaigns.
Only 2.
A creature workshop was specially set up at the Fox Studios. It was populated by a mixture of UK and Australian experts. This shop is responsible for building the many different aliens that appear from episode to episode.